Hi everybody, my name is Brett.
And I'm Rusty. Kellee.
You're rusty.
Yeah, because I haven't been in a video in like a year.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But we're from Levesque and the Belfry, and this is kind of my horror vlog, and I have a special guest here today who is in, most other videos on this channel. My wife, Kellee.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And there's a special reason why I'm here in this episode.
What is that?
So, I'm a queen at finding free random finds on Facebook.
You very much are.
I just have like such a good eye for someone. Literally, let me just get to the point. Someone posted a huge lot of VHS tapes, and they were very much Disney, baby videos, stuff like that. But I spotted in the corner of the lot Beetlejuice, the comic.
The cartoon.
The cartoon.
Yeah.
And I was like, I will take just those. And she was like, I want someone to take the whole lot. And I'm like, I'll take the whole lot and I'll do something with the rest.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out. She found someone to take the lot, and she kept the 3 VHS tapes for me. So
That was very nice of her.
that's what I'm excited to show you guys today.
Yeah, so this is my horror vlog where more or less I talk about horror, sometimes random stuff, but mostly horror. But yeah, we'll get to the Beetlejuice tapes in a second. I just want to start off by talking about the new Alkaline Trio album, Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs. Now, I am a huge fan of this band. They're one of my favorite bands. And Kellee has become a pretty huge fan as well.
Mm-hmm. I liked them before I met you, but then I started delving into a little bit more of their stuff, and
yeah, so
pretty great.
They are kind of like a punk rock, pop punk type band, but with very dark, gothic, and sometimes spooky undertones, especially lyrically.
Mm-hmm.
Like their music's very upbeat and fun, but they have some pretty dark sounding lyrics. And but yeah, their new album, Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs, just came out, and I at least wanted to talk about that because I've been a long-time fan of this band, and I'm not gonna go out on record and just say I don't like this record. I do, but it's a very different feel, and I'm hoping that I don't want to just be outright negative, but I'm really hoping this album grows on me, and it could. You know that I'm no stranger to being like, I'm not crazy about it, and then like a month later I'm like, I actually really like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
I love it, besides the first song.
Yeah, so the first song, I love the song title, Hot for Preacher. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, the song I'm not crazy about. I know you said you like the second song, Meet Me, but I'm not super crazy about that song either.
I think it's catchy.
It is catchy, and there's a lot of catchiness on this record, and if you've listened to Alkaline Trio, like, most of their records are pretty similar in sound, and they're all about writing catchy hooks and stuff like that. But even still, while this does sound very much like Alkaline Trio, it does have a very different feel to it. And they have a new drummer. Their longtime drummer Derek Grant ended up leaving the band, I believe, a year ago. But he was in the band since 2003 with their album Good Morning, and now they have Adam Willard, who was in Against Me for a while, and now he's in Alkaline Trio. And he did play with them for a little while. I think in the maybe like 2000, 2001, he was with the band for a little bit. But yeah, I was going to say, the highlights of this record for me so far are the singles that they released. The title track, Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs, is great. Bad Time at first I thought was pretty typical, but after a few listens, I actually find it a really fun song. It's very bouncy. I would say 1/3 of this record is very bouncy, if I could describe it. It just makes you want to go like this.
Yeah, I think that's why I like it a lot.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It is fun. And Versions of You is also a great single. And
Break.
Yeah, Break is a lot of fun.
It's funny because I was listening to the record, accidentally had my Spotify on shuffle, and he was like, not a big fan of the first song, and Break was the first one to come on for me.
You were like, I really like it.
And I texted him immediately. I was like, I love the first track. And then I was like, why doesn't he like it? And it made me look at my phone, and I'm like, oh, let me restart.
I was going to say, Break is probably one of the highlights of the record.
Yeah.
I also really like the last song, Teenage Heart. I would say lyrically, it's a little bit too like teen angsty for me lyrically, but sonically I really like the song.
Is that the one that's like All I Want for Christmas is an AK?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah. Like, yes. And the thing is with me, like when listening to music, I mostly listen to music sonically. Like, I don't pay a lot of attention to lyrics. And I guess because I'm just a big fan of Alkaline Trio that, I just end up paying attention to the lyrics. But yeah, like the song sonically I love. But yeah, the lyrics are just like very teen angsty, and a lot. That's a big gripe I have with a lot of like aging pop punk type bands is like they try really hard to stay like young lyrically. Then I'm like, you guys are in your mid 40s and have families. I mean, granted, probably not a lot of the youth wants to hear about that, but like I can see the pandering here, But yeah, I'm just hoping overall that this album does grow on me a lot more. And I mean, I have yet to say that Alkaline Trio has a downright bad record, and this is not a bad record whatsoever. I'll show off the disc though. This looks pretty cool.
Physical media for life.
Yeah. Kellee always pokes fun at me at that because of physical media. I'm like one of the last aliens on the planet that buys things.
I don't think it's weird. I'm just having fun with you.
I know you like to poke fun at me.
Yeah.
Okay, so one more thing, and then we'll get to the Beetlejuice tapes. I bought this recently, but didn't show it off in a video, and
Why is it so wrinkly?
I was going to get to that.
Oh, sorry.
I have beef with the manufacturing company who did the pressing of Penny Dreadful's whole series, because while I do think this picture is pretty cool, like, why is it so wrinkly and it's shrink wrapped?
The back isn't.
Yeah, look at the back. And I'm like, if it's meant to be that way, it's not in good taste in my opinion.
Can I look at it?
Yeah.
While you're talking?
Yeah, but Penny Dreadful it's a show that I really enjoyed, and it only ran 3 seasons, and I want to rewatch the whole thing. But yeah, it's one of the few like horror shows I want to say of like the last 10 years that actually is solid.
Okay, upon further inspection, the picture underneath is completely flat. It's just this outer wrapping.
Oh, it's the outer wrapping.
Yep.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Anyway,
so I'm glad at least it's not the actual like picture was meant to be like that. All right, that makes a lot of sense then. But yeah, it's a fun take on a lot of like the old like Universal monster movies. Like you have characters, you actually have a doctor named Victor Frankenstein in the show.
That's cool.
And he's like all about observing like dead people and trying to bring he brings one of his creations back to life. There's a character that is basically Frankenstein's monster and like a new, I guess, recreation. And there's a lot of themes like that from a lot of the old monster movies. You have a gunslinger. Actually, on this channel, I talked about the movie 30 Days a Night with Josh Hartnett in it. And he's in this show, and he plays a gunslinger that kind of hints at turning into a werewolf. And so his story arc is pretty cool. And a lot of people love Eva Green's character, Vanessa Ives, who's like this super religious, clairvoyant, crazy wild girl. But yeah, all the characters are super cool in this show, and if you're into like Victorian, like kind of period piece gothic type stuff, you might enjoy it.
I want to like it.
I saw your tongue sticking out.
I want to like it because the vibes are wonderful. I just can't get into like period piece stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, it's definitely not for everybody, but
it's definitely beloved.
Yeah, I watched season 1 a couple times. I've only seen season 2 and 3 once, but I really remember enjoying season 2 and season 3. And season 3 was very odd in its like approach. It was very different. Like I know a lot of the characters were like separated from each other like a good majority of the last season. And a lot of people don't like the way the show wraps up because the show was like canceled and maybe they were just trying to find a way to wrap up the story real quick. So a lot of people have said it was like very rushed. But one thing I don't understand is they canceled this show And then years later, they announced a spin-off called Penny Dreadful City of Angels, and that was only one season. I'm like, why'd you cancel the original show if it was meant to do more? I think, if anything, Penny Dreadful probably would have ran for at least one more season to kind of round out the story. So season 3, like, really wrapped up and tried to give it, like, closure, but it kind of felt incomplete. But, yeah. I liked season 3. Malcolm, like, he kind of, like, is, like, in, like, it's like a very Wild West setting, like, kind of, like, you know, even though one of the characters is a gunslinger, it's, like, you know, a lot of season 3 is, like, him kind of, like, making his way back home, and, like, a lot of it has, like, Wild West themes to it, and I guess I've kind of opened myself up to more, like, Western type themes and stuff like that, but, I mean, the show combines all that really, really well. But yeah, I wanted to come on and talk about it. But yeah, I will get around to watching this wrinkled DVD. But yeah.
Are you gonna watch City of Angels?
I want to. I know City of Angels. I haven't read much on it, but it's very. I think it's like kind of. It's not as old as like the time this takes place in, but it is old-timey. Let's get to the fun thing. You want to do that?
Yeah, I haven't even had a chance to really look at these.
Yeah, I'll give Kelly a chance to talk.
So, let's see. The unfortunate part is I thought that the 3 of these were volume 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately, it's just 2 and 3, but she has two copies of the volume 3. One is in a lot better condition than this one, which has like Scotch tape on it.
Yeah,
so
it's a little more worn.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the tapes and make sure that they're both in good condition. And then we'll just probably keep one and maybe pass the other one on, or maybe try some cool craft with the other one. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to want to find the rest of the series on VHS if I can.
That'll be a pretty hard find.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I was going to bring up, like, even we have the whole series on DVD, and at least to my knowledge, granted, I could be wrong about this, but I don't even think it's on any streaming services whatsoever.
It's not. I've looked for it.
Yeah, and so it's, like, not even on, like, YouTube, and sometimes people just upload stuff that you can watch for free on YouTube.
It looks like it's on there, but they're, like, 40-second clips.
Yeah, they're, like, clips from the show.
Because I pulled them up to see if our daughter would be interested in, like, watching it for a second, and then we put on the DVD and she watched like 20 seconds of it, and then she was like, whatever. She
might be a little too young, but
yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
The show, granted, like the movie I think is a lot more grounded, and the cartoon, that's why a lot of people are like, what's the difference? The cartoon is basically like Beetlejuice and Lydia are like best friends, and they just go on these crazy adventures in what they call the Neither World. And yeah, the show is truly bonkers. Like, I mean, this came out in the early 90s, and yeah, I mean, I would say the pun level from Beetlejuice is on another level.
That's what I was
like. If you like dad jokes, you might like the Beetlejuice cartoon.
I mean, it is chock full of them.
Yeah.
So this one, Volume 2, has Warm Welcome, Out of My Mind, and A Dandy Handyman.
I remember A Dandy Handyman.
So that's 40 minutes. And then Volume 3 has Pest of the West, which I remember, Stage Fright, and Spooky Tree.
Spooky Tree is probably one of our favorite episodes.
Spooky Tree is great. So I'm excited to... I haven't even looked at this yet. So I'm super excited to put these on and see how they look. It's going to be a great vibe, I think.
Yeah, let's show off the back. Yeah. Check out Beetlejuice. Yeah, it's got like... You know, old VHS tapes usually had, like, one still from, like, a show or a movie and such.
Look, this one has a baby on it.
Yeah. And
there's Beetlejuice with a sombrero on.
Yeah, so this is, it's around 44 minutes on here. But, yeah, the old Beetlejuice cartoon is a lot of fun. I would say it is a bit overstimulating. After about like an episode or two, you're kind of gotten your fix.
Yeah, I agree.
It's definitely not a binge type show because I feel like you would go out of your mind.
I actually did not watch this as a child, so I don't really know what I would have thought, but thinking back, I do imagine myself with like my Saturday morning cereal watching this show and liking it.
That's a good point. It definitely has a Saturday morning cartoon type vibe to it. I remember, because, I mean, I was born in 91. I think this started maybe in 93, maybe prior, and you were born in 93.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing commercials as a kid advertising it, and the thing I always remembered, and this didn't come till later seasons of the show, because it had 4 seasons total. I think it was season 3 or 4, that at the end of the show intro, Beetlejuice would like pop up where it would have like the famous Beetlejuice sign, and Lydia was standing on one side, Beetlejuice was on the other, and Beetlejuice would do this thing where he would just turn around, have a flower, and then fall straight onto his back. And I remember as a kid, I was like, how do you do that without hurting yourself? I was like, and granted, I'm just a kid, but it's like, it's a literal cartoon, dude. Like, that would hurt if you did it, especially my 80-year-old back now.
I don't even think I could do it if I tried. Like, it's one of those things where, like, your brain would stop you from doing it.
Yeah, it's like the trust fall type thing, where you're like, your brain just doesn't want to allow you to fall. So,
anyway.
But
it's just fun to have these. You know, I've never even thought to look for them on VHS, so when I saw them, the fact that I got them for free and 2 of them are in pretty decent condition, this one could be better, but
yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, we can fix that as best we can.
Yeah, so I'm super happy with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing, is I'm grateful that you found these online. Kellee can just find the most random things.
Yeah, I really
And it's
do.
even people, that are just like, I don't want this. Anyone want this? And, you know, most people probably would be like, I don't want this stupid Beetlejuice VHS tapes. And we're like, we'll take them.
The first thing the lady said to me when I was picking them up was, is this like some sort of nostalgia for you? And I was like, no. I was like, no, my husband and I just collect like physical media, and we had this quick conversation in front of Big Lots about how streaming services kind of suck. So
yeah, and you love teasing me about it. But yeah, and especially how big of a Beetlejuice fan Kellee is. It's like, of course, she's going to take the old cartoon VHS tapes.
For sure.
When she can. We'll open up a Beetlejuice museum maybe in our twilight years.
Honestly, we could.
Yeah, we probably could. We just have so much Beetlejuice stuff.
Oh, I miss my Beetlejuice office.
From our old house. If you've watched this channel or have never seen that video, yeah, we turned... back at our old house before we moved, we turned one of our rooms into a Beetlejuice office
because it was already purple, so it was like perfect.
It was perfect. And yeah, awesome. I was gonna say, yeah, opening a Beetlejuice museum actually might be a solid idea, because I know people would go to see it. Everyone loves Beetlejuice.
And we could make...
Can you stop?
We could make like spooky cocktails or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
it would have to be purple. Or something.
And we could come up with really punny names for all of them. This is actually... We should put this out in the world. Someone's going to steal our idea.
Someone probably will steal our idea. And then again, we saw the Beetlejuice musical on Broadway. That was fun. That was pretty good, actually.
I would see it again.
Yeah, I would too. I was going to say, I remember loving, like, all the songs they did.
Oh, except for one.
The only one I didn't like was called Dead Mom, and it sounded like a typical pop song.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a shame to put Lydia being like, girl, that song wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But, like, all the other songs they did were, like, really good.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll wrap it up here, because our dog Tilly is so impatient all the time.
Hi, Tilly. Thank you. You stink.
She always stinks.
Say bye.
Say bye. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Hit like and subscribe and comment if you enjoy all of our material.
She's typing.
Yeah. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in a future one.
Bye.
Bye.